Good morning, students. In my last video, I started globalization. What is globalization? Definition of globalization I already discussed. Again, I am repeating it. Globalization means integrating the economy of a country with the econ- economies of other countries. Economies of other countries. How? Under condition, again under condition of free flow of trade and capital across borders. That is the definition of globalization. Student, globalization is one of the component of new economic policy. There are three component of new economic policy. First one is liberalization, then privatization, and last one is globalization. And what is globalization? Globalization is integrating the economy of a country with the economy of other countries under condition of free flow of trade and capital across border. There will be no restriction in the flow of trade from rest of the world to our country. That is globalization. So now the next concept is strategies promoting globalization of the Indian economy. That is very important topic. What kind of policies and strategies taken for the process of globalization in Indian economy? Promoting globalization of the Indian economy. What are the steps and policies, strategies made by the government for promoting globalization in Indian economy? The first important thing is related to globalization is increase in equity. Increase in equity limit of foreign investment. Increase in equity limit of foreign investment. After NEP, new economic policy, government allowed foreign investment in our country. And equity limit of foreign investment has been raised from 40%. It is now if initially it was in few companies were allowed in our country to invest, and their equity was merely 40%. Now it has increased to around 51 to 100%. In 47 high priority industries in our country, 47 high priority industries FDI to the extent of FDI allowed it extent of 100%. 100% without any restrictions. There is no restriction in 47 high priority industries, and government allowed 100% foreign direct FDI foreign direct investment. Export trading houses have also been allowed foreign capital investment up to 100%. However, one organization, that is Foreign Exchange Foreign Exchange Management Act, that is very important. You should know and memorize it. That question will be asked in 1 marks question. That is FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, that is known as FEMA, has been enforced. This institution has been enforced by the government. Compliance FEMA has been accorded high priority. So the first important policy related to globalization is increase in equity limit of foreign investment. Initially, before NEP, in few industry, government allowed 40%, that raised to 51 to 100%, especially 47 high priority industries fixed by government, where government allowed 100% FDI, means foreign direct investment. And the one in the Foreign Exchange Management Act, Foreign Exchange Management Act, that is FEMA, has been enforced. Compliance FEMA has been accorded high priority. Now next is partial convertibility. To achieve objective of globalization, partial convertibility of Indian rupees has been allowed. Partial convertibility of Indian rupees had been allowed. Partial. What is the meaning of partial convertibility? Here, student, partial convertibility refers to sale and purchase of sale and purchase of sale and purchase of foreign currency. Foreign currency for foreign transaction. For foreign transaction at the market price. Partial convertibility means sale and purchase of foreign currency. Suppose anybody has to buy and sell foreign currency like dollar, pound, then government allowed convertibility, means sale and purchase of foreign currency. And why the need of partial convertibility in our country? Because to achieve the objective of globalization, partial convertibility of Indian rupees has been allowed. For the first one reason is import and export of goods and services. For export and import of goods and services, there is need of, especially for import of goods, there is need of foreign currency, so the businessman can pay the import bill to their respective currency. Suppose, for example, American company sell their goods in India, and for paying their goods, businessman needed dollar. So government allowed partial convertibility in our country. Partial convertibility is allowed, and business, that would be easy for the business, especially those are those are in the area of import. So partial convertibility is helpful in import and export of goods and services. And second one is payment of interest or dividend on investment. For paying of investment in the form of interest and dividend, foreign currency are required, and then after partial convertibility, that would be easy again. Now next one is policy that is introduced by the government is long term trade policy. What does it mean? In conformity with in the process of economic reforms, foreign trade policy is enforced for a longer period of longer duration, implying that it is a liberal policy. Means कि for longer period government adopted strategies that would be liberal. under this policy, especially long-term trade policy, under this policy, all restrictions and controls on foreign trade have been removed. Government Under this policy, government removed all restrictions and control on foreign trade, barring some few goods or specific goods where there is still certain restrictions by the government, but most of the goods and services there is no restrictions and control on foreign trade under by the government. Next one is reduction in tariffs. Reduction in tariffs. What is tariff? Tariff is barrier. We can say it barrier, mainly refer to reduction is mainly barrier refer to barrier on import through high import duty. That is tariff. Tariff is the barrier, mainly refer to barrier on import. Import is the purchasing goods and services from the rest of the world. For those goods, there were tariff imposed by the government, but in the globalization process, government removed this tariff. That is the kind of import duty. Government reduced or almost removed tariff from the those goods which are imported in our country. Now next is withdrawal of quantitative restrictions. What does it mean? Since 2001, the quantitative restrictions on all import items have been totally withdrawn. Quantitative restrictions, that is imposed by the government before 2001 or before, especially before 1991. Government removed all those restrictions or withdrawn all those restrictions on import items. Now we have free trade policy adopted by the government, because that is the the commitment, India's commitment to the World Trade Organization, because in 1991 India signed a treaty, that is General Agreement on Tariff Trade, that is the treaty of WTO, World Trade Organization. India joined World Trade Organization in 1991, and in this treaty India has to withdraw all restrictions on import items. So phase wise government removed all restrictions on import. In 2001, since 2001, government almost removed restrictions from the import items. So these are the policy and strategies that is adopted by the government for globalization. First is increase in equity limit of foreign investment. Government increase the percentage of equity in of foreign investment. Initially it was 40%, but gradually government allowed 51 to 100%. In 47 industries government allowed 100% foreign direct investment. Then partial convertibility, government allowed sale and purchase of foreign currencies. Long term trade policy, government make liberal policy related to long term trade policy. Reduction in tariff is the kind of tax that is imposed on imported items. Government gradually reduce the tariff. Withdrawal of quantitative restriction, government also withdraw quantitative restrictions since 2001. Quantitative restriction of all import items have been totally removed. Quantity means in terms of quantity there were also restrictions like how many goods should be imported from the another country, that also removed by the government or withdrawn by the government. So these are the policy strategies promoting globalization of Indian economy, and these strategies and policy adopted by the government. In the concept of globalization, one concept which is also very important, that is, you must have heard it, outsourcing. What is outsourcing? That is very important concept, and you must have heard about it, because India is emerging as an important destination of outsourcing, particularly BPO, that is business process outsourcing, and very famously we call it call centers. That is I'm writing over here, that is BPO, that is business process outsourcing. Business process outsourcing, that is another name is, or call centers. This is because why is that India is emerging as an important destination of outsourcing, particularly call centers or BPO, because in our country availability of cheap labor availability of cheap labor, and second reason is a revolutionary growth of IT sector, in IT industry in India. India is the hub of IT industry in world, and Bangalore is known as another Silicon Valley. India is the largest exporter of software in the world. So this is outsourcing. Let me explain again. Few students want to know the definition of outsourcing. What is outsourcing? Outsourcing is that is also outcome of globalization. Globalization, and it refers to a system of hiring business service from outside world. Suppose American company want to give service to their consumer, and because of they can give this service from India also, because of globalization there is free flow of goods and services. And how come they can give this service? Because they can establish a call center or BPO here, and through this they can give service to their consumer, like any kind of problems of a consumer while buying any goods. So through BPO, the company can provide service to their consumer. Why they took India as a BPO center or call center? Because in our country there is availability of cheap labor. There is India is second largest populated country, and here in terms of wages India provide cheap labor. And IT industry, because India is the hub of IT industry, and that will help them to uh, help help in business process outsourcing in BPO or call center. That's why India is considered as a hub for BPO BPO? That question is very common in every examination. One question must usually taken from the outsourcing, whether what is outsourcing and why India is considered as a why India is emerging as an important destination of BPO or call center. Why India is emerging as if the question will be asked why India is emerging as a hub of business process outsourcing or call center, because availability of cheap labor, and second one is revolutionary growth in IT industry in India. You will write like way. And what is outsourcing? Outsourcing is outcome of globalization, or system of hiring business service from outside world.